Well, we are live currently. I think I'm going to just stay live for a little while here and try to get some ideas on this Integra that I'm working on. And I may post this video after I'm done because I want to try to get some ideas on why this is happening. And kind of curious if any of you guys out on the old internet can help me with this unusual issue that I'm having with this Integra. It's crazy because, like I said in the video, if you think you know it all, you're definitely, you don't know it all. This is one of them cases where I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. So we already got 10 people in here. Let me see. Joe Dirt, what's up? Christian, you come over. I'm not gonna be out here too much longer, guy. You filled that cylinder with oil yet? What do you mean? Fill the misfiring cylinder with oil? No, I did not. You're probably saying, did I fill the cylinder with oil to check for worn rings? But it has 140 PSI of compression. And normally a ring, or like, if you pour oil in the cylinder, see how much more the ring, picks up in compression. If the compression on the rings is bad enough to misfire, it's going to be under 100, usually. Like, I've never seen them, usually like even 80 or 90 PSI of compression will still idle and not misfire. So, I don't know. But I got the car running and everything was like, okay. I let it idle for a while and gave it a heat cycle. And it just had a clatter in the cylinder head. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I ended up pulling the whole cylinder head apart, and here we are. And this number 2 cylinder is the one that had the misfire, and is like a steady misfire. Unless the car is over like 2,000 RPM, then it clears up and it doesn't have the misfire anymore. And it's very weird because, well, I pulled the springs and retainers out of this side of the cylinder head because I was like, oh, maybe it's got a broken valve spring or something like that, because that would explain, and it makes total sense. If it had a broken valve spring, it would still build compression, but the valve wouldn't open far enough because, you know what I mean? Like the valve would only open, say, halfway, and that would only allow so much air to come in and so much fuel to come in, where it wouldn't have enough air and fuel to actually combust and make compression, if that makes sense. So I was really banking on this thing having a broken spring, and I pulled both springs out and they're fucking mint. And I'm like, damn it. Like, where do I go now? Like, this car's been nothing but a headache. And by the way, when I put this motor together, there was like 6 fucking head studs that were stripped out in the block. Like, this thing's been bad juju ever since I started. And it's just been a problem city. And this guy that I built it for, whatever, has had bad luck with it in the past. And I say this once in a while, and sometimes, like, my Regal was this way back in the day. The first car I had on the YouTube channel here, my Regal was this way, and car was just bad juju. Sometimes cars are bad juju and you just get rid of the fucking thing and then you don't got to deal with it. But that's giving up. That's the easy way out, and I'm definitely not going to try to do that on this guy because, like I said, he's been a customer of mine for like 5 years, and we've come a long way with this car. It started as a all-motor GSR with like stock GSR, and then he put like cams in it, and then the bottom end kind of smoked out on it, and the rings went out, all that kind of stuff. So he took the motor to a shop down in Milwaukee and had the whole bottom end redone, had high compression pistons, camshafts, valve springs, the whole 9 yards, and the car made like, I don't know, 200 wheel horsepower or something like that, all motor. And he wasn't happy because it was, something fucking wrong with it. And he just wasn't happy. So I said, dude, just fucking throw a turbo on it. Who cares? Like, just throw a turbo on the high compression motor and we'll send it. And we put an eBay kit on it. The eBay kit was maxed out, blowing a lot of heat because the eBay turbo was, out of its efficiency range, and it was blowing hot air instead of cold air. And it cracked a sleeve. So this is the block that was out of the car. And as you can see, it broke a sleeve. So that's tacoed. That's no good. So we switched it to a GSR CSS bottom end with Y-scope pistons, flat tops, with a 10-to-1 compression ratio and eagle rods with king bearings, and reused the cylinder head that he had. I did not touch the cylinder head, and it seems as if we have issues with the cylinder head on this car. So I'm going to show you guys what we got going on, and maybe somebody out there can help me out. I've talked to Brent from PFI, and Brent has been an assload of help. He's been super cool. It's very humbling to have somebody like him on board and try to help out the old Hunter Tuned here. But, okay, so like I said, I got both valve springs out of this thing, but the cam, or the VTEC lobe, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's got a flat spot in it, right where my thumb is here. It's a pretty big flat spot just on the VTEC rocker. So the VTEC rocker right here is worn, and I pulled the cams out because the intake cam is also worn in a very unusual spot. You can see that the camshaft is worn just on the outsides of the lobe, and it is also worn like up here a little bit. Like, I wouldn't hesitate to throw this cam back in because, I mean, it's not worn like, I don't know, it's not, I've sent it way worse on, like, you know, other camshafts that were used, and I've sent them and they've been totally fine. But I don't know what we got going on here, guys. It's got a dead miss and clears up after a couple thousand RPM, which, like I said, is a sign of like low compression. But I've tried everything. Like, I know the basic stuff. Like, I do know the basic stuff pretty easily. Injector is firing. It's got fuel going into the cylinder. I swapped the wiring on the injectors to make sure it wasn't wiring related. It is not. I swapped spark plug wires. I swapped spark plugs. I did compression test like 15 times. Literally 15 times I've compression tested this motor. And it comes back, according to this, it goes 150, 145, 140, 145. So this one's like 5 PSI lower, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of lost. Cam timing is on. We got a 14:7 air fuel ratio. I've tried chucking fuel in and out of it. I've tried taking ignition in and out of it to try to clear up the misfire, and it doesn't clear up. I temp the exhaust after I'm done running it. So like, take like stone cold motor, fire it up, let it idle for like a minute, shut it off, and I take a temp gun and I temp header, 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 header. And these two are like, say 200 degrees. This one's like 85 degrees and this one's like 150. You know what I mean? And I think these two over here are hotter because they're both firing, and these two, you know, aren't as hot because this one's not firing. Something like that. Yeah, so and sorry I'm not answering questions at the moment. I will in a minute. I'm kind of trying to treat this video as like a video I'm actually going to post on the channel to try to get some feedback from other people that aren't actually tuning in to the actual live stream. But yeah, I've had a hell of a time with this thing. And another thing is the motor was pretty hard to spin over. Like, it was to the point where I needed a breaker bar on the crank pulley to like get it to fucking move when I first had the motor in here, and it cranked kind of hard. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I ran it for like, I don't know, I probably have like 5 minutes of total runtime on the engine. And now the motor spins free. Like, it spins good. I don't know. It spins good. So, or it spins normal, I should say. So I have no idea what the deal is. I'm probably going to tell everybody else here that's not interested in, you know, watching, but I feel like I'm going to answer some questions now, talk to you guys a little bit. You guys can stick around if you want. But yeah, so anyways, let's go to live stream mode and fuck trying to make a video. All right, so I love when you dudes come on while I'm at work getting paid watching Hunter Tune. Fucking mint. Heroes in heaven. Yeah, you know it, brother. You know it. Is the valve straight? Pretty sure. I did not pull the valves or anything out of the cylinder head. Takumi, I think that's her name. I never pulled the valves out of this cylinder head, but I did what I could do to inspect it, and nothing seems like it's worn. And I honestly did a leak down test on this thing with the compression tester, like in here. Put the compression tester in, put compressed air to it. Nothing was leaking, and then I'd open the valve, and then it'd come out of the intake. So, like, I know the valves are sealing. I did that to both of them. Nothing was leaking out of the intake until I opened the valve. So I'm pretty sure the valves are straight and no issues there. Dirty injector, says Villain 530. These injectors are actually the Hunter tuned flex fuel style injectors, and I did flow test them. They flowed completely perfect, even, and I also checked the wiring. Everything on the wiring is dog pile chicken smile. Christian asked me if I'm racing today. I got customer stuff to worry about before I worry about myself. We'll see. I don't know yet. R&R Performance says, could be a vacuum leak at the intake manifold. I had a GSR that missed till you revved it up. Okay. Thank you, R&R Performance. I'm actually thinking about that now. Okay, let me think here. So if it has a vacuum leak, just on that, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's kind of a can of worms. I don't know if it's, I mean, it's possible. Maybe because it's a thermal intake gasket, and I hate thermal intake gaskets because they leak. Maybe it's got a big vacuum leak right by that runner, and only that runner on the intake. Maybe. That is a possibility. I guess I can't rule that out. Maybe I should have sprayed some brake cleaner around the intake before I... Okay, the only reason I say it's not that is because the cylinder head clatters. Like, it's got clatter in the cylinder head, and I don't know why. I checked the valve lash. Main problem is the misfire at 2,000 RPM. It's only at idle that it misfires. Where did your go, son? Where did your go, son? I don't know. That rocker definitely needs to be replaced. It's going to wear out any new cam you put in. Okay, well, why did it wear is what I'm asking. Why did it wear? I did a leak down, yes. Hello, Ragged Edge Racing. How's it going, dude? Takumi is what a nightmare. Been there, dude. Very frustrating. Yeah, this shit sucks, dude. This shit sucks. Smoke it, run a scope on the injector. What do you mean a scope on the injector? Vacuum leak on those two cylinders would be a lean miss. If you added a ton of fuel to try to clear it up, it would have gotten better. Exactly. And I tried to add fuel to it, and it didn't clear up. So, yeah, that makes sense. So I'm going to rule out the whole vacuum leak thing from being a issue here. LMAs. Okay. I've never had an LMA actually go bad on a Honda, like, ever. I've had them, like, make noise, but I wouldn't have the car misfire because of a bad LMA. You know what I mean? So... I'll show you these LMAs quick. Let's check them out. Okay, so the bad LMA. Moves smoothly. Let's check another one. Moves smoothly. All right, let me try this one again. Yeah, dude, they move smooth. And I feel like that would only be an issue for if it was like completely stuck where this lobe wouldn't move at all. You know what I mean? Yes, Heroes in Heaven, I've tried 2 different sets of injectors in it, actually. I've been running nonstop on this fucking thing. Yeah, all these are smooth. LMAs seem legit. I mean, it's always something stupid, man. Yes, the valve train is noisy. Yes. So there are 2 hints towards this misfire. Is it has cylinder head rattle. Like, I have a video that I sent to Brent, and maybe I'll post that. I don't know, but it has like, it sounds like the valve lash is off, kind of, which I checked the valve lash. It's not off. It'll sound like that when it's idling good. And then all of a sudden it'll have like a clack, clack, clack. and then it'll go away. And when it clacks, like it'll go clack, clack, clack really loud. It literally sounds like something's gonna come apart. It sounds terrible. So I don't know. It's weird. That's why I was like, oh, it's a broken spring. It makes total sense. It makes total sense when you think about a broken spring. That's why I pulled the springs out. But yeah. This guy says it's a sticking valve. Really? You really think the valve could stick? I don't know. Maybe. I just never had problems like this before on a Honda. Yes, I checked the valve lash, KA5. I checked the valve lash a few different times. I actually tried to set it a little looser. I tried to set it a little tighter. Because usually you get like too tight of a clearance on the valve lash. And it will keep the valve open, which won't build compression. Which this built compression is what I don't understand. You know what I mean, guys? Like, it's got compression. If it's got compression, all you need is timing, fuel, and spark. And everything else should work. You know, and all the other cylinders are hitting like they should. It almost isn't pumping up or is losing oil pressure to the lifter. Too bad it doesn't have a lifter. Yeah, it doesn't have any lifters. It's pretty mechanical. The cam just pushes right on the rocker arm because it's an overhead cam engine. But yeah. So yeah. Oh, if you guys want to know how to pull your valve springs out with your cylinder head still attached, take a piece of vacuum line, shove that sucker down into the cylinder head or into the motor, and spin the motor over. Like, put the piston at the bottom dead center on the cylinder you're trying to work on. Shove the vacuum line in there, and then crank the motor up so the piston comes up and smushes the vacuum line into the combustion chamber, and then you can, you know, pull your frickin' valves apart, your valve springs and all that. So yeah, like I said, the valve springs are completely mint. These are the dual valve springs from Brian Crower. And I'm like, maybe it's got a broken inner spring, but nope. All that shit looks fine. I don't know. Crazy. Might have to brake clean while idle to see if it's a leak or smoke. Yeah. I don't think it's a vacuum leak or anything, guys. I really don't. I mean, it could be. Christian says it could be oil pressure. This car does not have an oil pressure gauge, but the cylinder head is completely soaked in oil, which means there's oil getting to the cylinder head. I don't know. I ran a fucking Honda motor one time back in the day with a smoked oil pump on the dyno for 4 pulls. No oil pressure whatsoever. Oil pump was completely broken. I ran it on the dyno for 4 pulls, and I realized the VTEC wasn't working, and I said, get me off the dyno, because, you know, whatever. And I drove it all the way home, about 20 miles before the cams locked up. Didn't make any noise. So I don't think that's a problem for oil pressure. Do the cams show any abnormal wear? Yes. On the cylinder that's misfiring. Yes, they do. This cam lobe right here, it's worn on the outside of the VTEC lobe. Super odd. Super odd. Super odd. Super odd. Super odd. Could the valve springs not be sitting on the seat all the way? Like the spring is bigger than the seat just barely and is actually moving off the seat causing the noise. I don't think so, because this cylinder head was on this engine, or it was on the previous bottom end, and it was totally fine. So I don't think it has anything to do with the valve springs or retainers. I thought the spring might have been broken, but it is not. Crower cams. It has stock GSR cams. Is it just that one set of lobes in the cam? Yeah, that's the only one that's worn. And it's only worn on the intake one. It's the intake cam on the cylinder that's misfiring. Has that wear. So I feel like I'm getting somewhere with it. But we can't be cramming 600-700 horsepower at this car with an issue like this. We can't do that. And the bottom end is like built, so I don't really want to, you know. Bent cam. Bent cam. I don't know. I don't know. How would it bend? I didn't like drop it or anything. I mean, I'm just kidding. I don't think I dropped it. That is kind of, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we could try a different camshaft. I don't know. Sticking valve causing wear. I don't think so. Because the valve opened and closed, like, you know, fairly easily. Could the oil pressure be high enough to cause VTEC to kind of engage, but not all the way? No, because the solenoid has to be open in order for the oil pressure to flow where VTEC is. And if the solenoid isn't activated, which is activated by the ECU, depending on RPM and throttle position and all that kind of stuff, that will determine when VTEC hits. This setup has not had, you know, that kind of RPM in it for VTEC solenoid to actually open and flow oil pressure through the rocker arms where the lobe would be locked up, if you know what I mean. Christian, I've been at that situation today where I was actually just gonna go drive the car, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm ready for something to just come apart so I know what's wrong. And I was gonna drive it, and it started clattering really loud, and I'm like, fuck that. Like, I can't do that. Maybe if it was my car, I'd just get pissed at it. Heat will change the sticky valve. Is that what you're saying, Ragged Edge? LMA, no, Matthew Perez, we did go over that earlier in the video. The LMA seems like it's okay. Swap the whole rotating assembly out. Right. Solenoid could not be closing all the way, causing a leak. Okay, the guy actually told me because I borrowed his VTEC solenoid off this head for my car like a while ago. And he had this VTEC solenoid. He's like, I think I had issues with it. I don't remember. And I'm like, God, dude, they're fine. Like, they don't usually go out. So I threw his old VTEC solenoid on. He said he had issues with it. I don't think that's it, though. I really don't think that's it. Especially if it's only on one cylinder. You know what I mean? Like, if it was worn on all of them or whatever, maybe. But that's not the case on this. Try swapping the intake cam out for a different one and see, kind of at a loss otherwise. Didn't we pull the VTEC solenoid off to clean the screen? I didn't do that on this motor. No torque. Yeah. 41 people in here, guys. That's awesome. No, we just dropped 6 people as I said that. Holy fuck, something's wrong. Let me see if I can plug my phone in here. Hang on, just hang on 2 seconds. Hang on. In here, we're plugged in. We are plugged in. Hey, Andrew's in here. Whoa, that was really loud. Andrew. Hi. Hi, buddy. Okay. Let's see here. No torque. No torque. That's why it's broken, right? Can you show us a brief picture of mating rocker or follower? The rocker on the VTEC assembly, or on the VTEC lobe on the one cylinder is worn. It's not worn like tacoed, but it's worn a little bit. That's the only one that's worn. My boy AJ DC2 is in here. That's his car. That's his car. Let's all give him sympathy. Let's all give him sympathy. What are you doing to the Del Sol? Nothing. I sold the Del Sol and I made like $2 grand. So no more Del Sol. I'm sorry. Was that the cam that fell? No. It was a jack handle. I'm late. I'm interested in a cam wear. Yeah, she's fucked. I don't know what's wrong. Like, this is a real stumper. Hi, Andrew. What's up, Quam? I think that's how you say your name. Quam. Hi. Run a straight edge on the cam bearings and see if it's all even. Okay, my phone's kind of dead. Hang on. I'm still here for you, bro, with all my useless advice. No problem, Heroes in Heaven. You have good advice sometimes. Andrew, what's your Snapchat? Creepy. Creepy. Can you swap out the FK, the fucked follower, and try again? Is that what you mean, fucked follower? That's what Brent told me to do. He said you should probably just swap the rocker that's worn and swap the cam with a different one and see if it clears up. But I don't know. I don't think that's something that I just don't know what caused it. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Take the head off your EK. Trust me, I've thought about it. Stagman Strong Tube. Put. What's worn on the cam? The cam is worn. The VTEC lobe. On the outside only, which is super odd. Super odd. Again, maybe it'll straighten out. You know what's funny is I'm going to tell you a story real quick. Live streamers here is we dropped a turbo one time, and the shaft locked up, like the fucking compressor shaft. The shaft locked up, and I'm like, what the fuck? Michael dropped it or something, and I'm like, dude, you fucking idiot! You dropped the turbo. You're a dipshit. And it locked up. Like tight, and I'm like, you fucker, and I'm like pissed off and whatever. So I'm being a smartass. I dropped it again, and it freed up, and the car's still running to this day. Not gonna say what car it is, but that did happen. So that's a funny one right there. The hardening may have been worn off, and the extra power has ripped the rest off. Maybe. I don't know. It's actually pronounced Kua. Kua. The M is silent. Kua. 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 Confession time. Fucking mint. You guys are getting the real story here. You know what I mean? The fucking bloopers. The bloopers. Michael definitely dropped it. Yeah, he definitely does. If swapping them out fixes it, who cares what caused it? Just keep an eye on it. It's a fresh build, so whatever issue it had shouldn't be there anymore. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I feel like if it was something in the bottom end, it wouldn't have headwear. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really odd. It's just really odd. And the fact that this cylinder head came off of a running engine, like a good running engine, and then it cracked the sleeve. Maybe there was chunks of shit that, like, flew up into the head and it wore it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I checked it before I put it together, but I mean, I might have missed that part of the cam. I don't know. Put type R cam on intake and see what happens. Brent has storage units full of shit. You know that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to bug the guy. You know what I mean? Any metal in the oil? I don't know. It's got 5 minutes of runtime. I would assume there's some metal in the oil because it's a brand new bottom end. Yeah, the motor, literally 5 minutes of runtime. Drunk confessions, been there. I'm not drunk, but confessions. I'm a real guy. I'm a realist. Shit happens. You know, shit happens, and, you know, you talk about it and you fix it, and you battle through all the struggles, because when you have struggles like this, it makes you stronger. You know what I mean? Like, you hear all these, like, stupid, sappy songs on the radio, like, what only kill you makes you stronger, or whatever. It's true. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And this one's about ready to kill me, so I might die, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. And the fact that Andrew is leaving for the Air Force to serve our country makes me really kind of driven to get this fucking thing done. Whether I got to pull my motor out and put in his car, I don't care. I got to do what I got to do to get it done. So we're going to try to do whatever we can. It just sucks because money's a limiting factor, and I'm already like way over budget on labor, but I'm just trying to help them out. You know what I mean? So we're just doing what we can. Doing what we can. Have you pulled out the rockers? No, I just looked at them. I didn't pull them out. They're still in there. Do what Brent says. It's progress, and you can upload a new video. Yeah. I want to know what caused it. Like, why? I can't try to, like, throw parts at shit and then expect a different outcome. Once I understand why the outcome is the way it is, then I throw parts at it. A lot of guys, like, you go to a dealership and they'll be like, oh, you got a code for an O2 sensor, throw an O2 sensor in it. And then it still has the code for the O2 sensor because it had a wire that was broken or something. You know what I mean, guys? Like, I'm not a dealership type of worker, and I figure the real problem out when I diagnose cars. And if I don't know the real problem, I don't throw parts at it. That's just my type of attitude when I'm diagnosing vehicles and trying to fix cars. It just sucks with a situation like this because where would you take it? Where would you take this car to a shop? You couldn't, because they'd be like, we don't work on that. It's got a turbo or whatever. You know what I mean? Or you'd go to a performance shop and they'd be in the same situation I'm in, you know? So it sucks, but at the same time, it is what it is. Strong is because I'm in ICU for past 3 months with heart failure out of the blue. Stegman Strong. Wow. Sorry to hear, man. Sorry to hear, dude. Glad you're still here to talk about it, I guess. Keep your head up, bro. Take the oil filter off and open it up. What is that going to show me, guys? What is that going to show me? Timing belt too tight. Sorry if I'm leading you off the yellow brick road. The timing belt is tight. I usually set them kind of tight, but it's not so tight where, you know, you can't put it in. Like, it's still good. Like, it's not, like, overly tight. Like, I feel like it's the same tension as my hatch. The hatch motor in my car is the same timing belt tension, so I don't think that's the issue. Heroes in Heaven, that's my favorite song. How'd you know? It's not in the bottom end. I'd put money on it being in the head. I just swapped them out. If it fixed it, then you know what the issue was. It's a used part. Shit could have been run low on oil years ago. The oil was super clean, not even coolant in the oil. When I cracked the sleeve, doubt there was stuff in the oil creating that wear. Yeah, and it's only one cylinder, which doesn't make any sense. So it's got to be in that area of the motor, you know. We can die together, Hunter. Fuck this. Hey, I'm still here trying, dude. I'm not giving up. Once again, PFI speed is the shit. Brent, where you at? Yeah, dude, PFI is awesome. I love them. Love all those guys. I'd love to go out there and visit and hang out with them. When you zoomed in on the engine, the timing belt looked like it had a crack. Just grasping for straws here. The timing belt is actually brand new. It's probably just dirty because my, you know, greasy ass hands have been on it. Sorry, Andrew. Your brand new timing belt looks like a used one. Yeah, whatever. Park Vapes says, love the channel, man. Keep up the good work. You inspired me on my build. You're welcome, dude. I will try to keep up as much as I can. But when I'm working on, you know, Integras, they just always have problems because Integras suck. I'm just kidding. But yeah, you get it. You know, Integras, you know, they get issues, and then, you know, you don't want to make videos or do anything because all you want to do is ride your Hayabusa. You know, that's how it goes. I'm on my way up there right now. Let's just send it and blow it up. That'd be giving up, dude. We got to keep fighting. We got to keep fighting. I mean, I could throw the cams back in it and just fucking run it. Like, comes apart, comes apart. Then we'll know what went wrong, right? Hell yeah, AJ. It'd be a different story if the parts were brand new because they were used. Shit could have happened 5 years ago and didn't show up till now. But I get it on the same way. Yeah, like I said, I would like to know what the real cause was. I've ran shit with worn fucking cams, worn rockers. I've ran worn ass shit. This shit looks brand new compared to the half the shit I run. And half the shit I run still works. So I don't understand this. You know what I mean, guys? Try putting cams back in, check side-to-side play, then turn it over by hand and try to see what it is. I was thinking about doing that, actually, just throwing the cams back in and then just rotating the motor by hand and kind of watching that cylinder and seeing kind of what's going on. Just because Brent says something doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. And I agree, you know, everybody can be wrong. He's not here for this situation, so he doesn't know exactly what's going on, just hearsay of what I'm telling him. So, I mean, yeah, I take everybody's advice with a grain of salt, because like I said, they're not actually here to help. And, you know, I'm just doing what I can with the knowledge that I have and trying to make something happen out of whatever we got here. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, realistically, you know, a pretty easy situation here would probably just be to swap the cylinder head with a different one, because, you know, the valve guide or anything can be worn in the cylinder head. I have no idea what, but that might be like our worst case scenario type of thing. But we're going to try to do what we got. Damaged cam again. Yeah, I'll show you in a second here, Matthew. My car was in the garage for 1.5 years while I tried to solve a wiring issue that I caused. I know what mean. Yeah, dude. Sometimes cars suck, dude. Sometimes cars suck. Opening the oil filter will show you if you got a problem in the lower end and if the head is worn. Okay, well, I guarantee that there's going to be metal in the oil filter, and I guarantee there's going to be metal in the oil because this is a brand new bottom end. Like, brand new bearings, brand new rings, fresh machine job, fresh deck, fresh bore, CSS, all of it. So you're gonna have metal in the oil normally from just the rings wearing in and the bearings wearing in and all that kind of stuff. So that wouldn't really show us much because, like I said, you usually do your initial oil change after you build the motor and all that kind of shit. So does this motor have higher compression than the last motor? No, it has lower compression. So it's not like a valve interference issue, if that's what you're going towards, Darren. It's still misfiring, JDM enthusiast. Yes, it is. In my life experience, whenever I had issues like this, whether it be fixing something in my house or car, I sat on it for a day or so and gave it a break. When I came back, the problem was apparent. Dude, 100% agree with you. I cannot stress that enough for anybody out there that has, like, I've been there 1,000 times. Up at fucking 3, 4 in the morning, and you've been working on a car all day, and you're burnt the fuck out, and you can't think straight. And I've been there. I've already been there on this car about 5 times. And yeah, you just take a break, you step back for a day, 2 days maybe, and you come back to it with a clear head, and you figure it out. You know, it's just how it is. But when you're trying to get everything done in a rush, like swapping a turbo in the rain, like what Christian did yesterday, it takes way longer than it should, and you don't do as proper of a job as you could. You know, and then you might have issues that come up down the road. You know what I mean? So, you know, it just is what it is. But Heroes in Heaven has a great thing there. If you can't think of something, you always come back to it in a day or so, and you can definitely figure it out usually. Like, yeah, sometimes you just think very stupidly when you're tired or whatever. The retainers are not stock. They're titanium Brian Crower retainers. Hello. What up, Hunter? The Kamanama. I think that's how you say your username. Sorry if I butchered it. But if the head was wearing, there will be aluminum flakes, unlike the bottom end. They're all going to be like shiny aluminum, though, like rings, bearings. The bearings in this thing are Kings, so they have like a silver coating on them. So it's still going to all be like the same color. You know what I mean, guy? Belinda. 1, 2, 3. I'll smoke a Wayne for you, guy. Okay. The problem could be there in old setup, but the miss wasn't as noticeable because of the higher compression. That makes sense. This engine could have a very slightly bent valve. I don't know. God, I don't think so, though. Maybe. That does make sense. That actually does make sense, though. The problem wasn't apparent because there was a higher compression, so you got more squeeze going on in the combustion chamber. Now, I'm not trying to be a smartass, but what's been checked? Compression, spark, fuel, just hate when I'm not in the area to help. I've checked everything, man. Everything. Everything. Like, compression test, spark, fuel, everything. Everything. And it's got a fucking clang in the cylinder head and wear in the cylinder head, so I think it's something mechanical. Cam lobe or a main? He's checked the simple stuff a bunch. Sometimes we overthink. Chunk of metal or retainer got left in the head. No, sup. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Let me check my phone battery here and see if I can unplug it for a second. Good. We are good. We got 8%. We got 8%. So I can show you guys the wear quick again. Can you guys see that? Here, I'll show you. Right where my fingernail is. Right where my fingernail is. Right there. That's the wear we have on the cam. Same thing here. Same thing. And it also has a slight bit, like when I say a slight bit, I've ran way worse, on the lobe right here. It's got a little bit of wear, but not to the point where it should misfire. You know what I mean? So, then I'll show you the cylinder head one more time. Okay, so we got this guy right here. That's the wear that we're looking at on the VTEC lobe. And it's a lot worse in person than it looks on camera. But you can see the ridge right where my fingernail is. You can see that it's worn in right there. Hopefully the camera picks this up in, but yeah, you get what I'm saying, guys? You get what I'm saying? Looks like the cam shifted out of place. Yes, I thought so too. But how would the cam shift out of place? Let me ask you that. Let me ask you how the cam would shift out of place. So we got the cam right here. This will go through here like so. And it'll sit right in here. You know, a cam seal sits there. And then you have this ridge right here that the cap locks in place. And, you know, locks it into the position where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying, guy? So, I don't think the cam was, you know, out of place. The cam could be bent, maybe, but why would it only wear there? You know what I mean? Doesn't make sense. Let's hear this thing clang. No. I don't want to run it anymore. You know what I mean? Ooh, look at this spider. What a creepy fucker. It has compression. It is going to fire. Have you done a leak down? I did. Has compression. Doesn't fire. It fires, but only at idle. You know what I mean? I gotta kill this spider. Come on the ground, bro. I'm gonna smush you. Oh, I don't know where he went. Oh, he's right there. I got him. We got him. We got him. Oops. That def looks like damage from being out of lash. Was the cam installed brand new? No, it was a used cam. It's missing a pin in there. No, it's no. None of the pins are missing in the rocker arm. Lost motion assembly is good. It's smooth. Everything is smooth on that. Valve lash way too tight. I checked the valve lash 5,000 times, dude. It had lash, and it had. If anything, it may have been like 6 thousandths or something on the intake. 6 to 5, 6 to 7, somewhere around there. And if it's gonna wear that hard, it would have to be like a 0 lash, you know, or 1 thousandths or something like that. I checked the valve lash like fucking 10 times. If the valve was just bent a thou or two, actually rotate and could rotate to a position where it hangs. That's why you had a hard time turning it over by hand and hang closed. Yeah, because it did have a hard time turning over initially. And then it smoothened out. And now we have wear. Does it have any kind of lifters? No. No. The ridge can be from bad valve adjustment. I agree, but the valve adjustment was good from what I could see. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Could that lobe be bent? I mean, can the cam be bent by that lobe? I don't know. Maybe. Andrew appreciates me. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Dude, the fucking wind is tweaking me out right now. It's like windy out and it's like moving garbage bags and shit outside. It's kind of tweaking me out. You said in video it misfires at idle, but it clears up in the upper RPM, but you said it only misfires at idle. It misfires at idle, doesn't misfire above like 2 grand, which normally is a sign of compression being low or something. Where's Sherlock Holmes? I know. Where the fuck is he at? I had a valve not seat properly and it wore the cam sort of that way. What you vaping on? Park vapes? Yeah. I got a boulder. It's a fucking boulder. Or it's called, I don't know. Some people call it the rock. I don't know. It works good. Sounds like you have a ghost. Yeah, I got some dank shit in my vape, dude. Dank shit. Dank shit. With the wear being on the sides of that lobe, I would guess the cam is sliding back and forth. Is there something wrong with the end cap that holds it in place? New valves, any headwork been done? Yeah, it's got flat valves, it's got springs, retainers. It was all previously done, and we just threw it back on this bottom end. So I didn't go through the head or anything, but yeah. The cam cap seems fine, and I had them all in order. You know what I mean? I didn't have them mix matched or nothing. Thank you for all the help, guys, and all the suggestions and stuff. That means a lot. Thank you. Might have to remove the head to check the valves. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm honestly to that point where I want to pull the head off and go through all of it. You know, pull the rockers out, pull the valves out, pull everything out, and look at it. Because maybe it's got a slightly bent valve where it'll still build compression, but it won't seal good enough. I don't know. My opinion is the issue has been there, but it wasn't as noticeable because the old motor had higher compression. I'd pull the springs of the valve and try to lower it and raise it by hand and see if it snags up. Should we do that quick? I just don't want the valve to fall into the motor, you know what I mean? Did it run fine before putting on this setup? Yeah, but it cracked a sleeve. But the motor hit, like it hit on a 4 with this cylinder head on it. And then it cracked a sleeve, and he pulled the head off, and here we are. Threw that head on a new bottom end. The way you don't have to remove the head to check the valve. That way you don't have to remove the head to check the valve. I just don't want to drop the fucker, you know what I mean? I could put a magnet on it, I suppose. What holds the cam from moving side to side? There's a little thing in the cap. In the cam cap, there's a groove where the cam sits into that groove. And put that on, and then the cam can't move. You know what I mean? Swap out cam and valves. Honestly, I'd just fucking I'd put a different head on it. Screw it. Throw a fucking known good head on and be done. Monster Boss says it sounds like an oil feed issue. If it was an oil feed issue, why would it only wear on one particular cylinder? Tell me that. Also, the cylinder head is completely coated in oil. Like, it has plenty of oil pressure. I pulled the oil feed line off. It's got oil pressure coming out of that. I don't think it's an oil issue. When you did the compression test, did it hold compression for any significant amount of time? Or did you see the compression tester bleed it to move to the next one? No, it held. It held. If you load the cylinder with air pressure, valve won't drop. Right. I know that. I have a piece of vacuum line jammed in there right now to hold the valve up. I just don't want to pull the vacuum line out and then have the fucking valve fall in the motor. For how long did it hold the compression? I think my compression tester just builds and then it like just sits at wherever it built. You know what I mean? So I don't think it doesn't have a release. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to bleed back into the motor or anything. The compression tester I have. I don't think I've ever seen a compression tester act where it like falls off. I don't think I've seen those actually. That noise could be the cam rolling into that groove in the rocker causing the cam. It's still smooth. Both mating surfaces have to be smooth. Imagine the cam rolling on that rocker would create a noise. Yeah, definitely would. Good night, Angel Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Did I crack that sleeve on the old setup? No, I cracked a different sleeve. It cracked out of the number 4. What did the leak down test show? It showed it was good. I don't have an actual leak down tester. I just use my compression tester with compressed air. And nothing was leaking on the intake side until I opened the valve and then it leaked. You know what I mean? If you want to take the spring off, get some small rope and put it in the spark plug hole. I already did that and the springs are off. Springs are already off. That would cause a miss. Matthew, what did you say? That noise could be the cam rolling into that groove in the rocker, causing the cam, because the cam is still smooth. Both mating surfaces have to be smooth. Imagine the cam rolling on that rocker. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. And this way, if I pull the cylinder head off, I'll be able to see like what's going on. You know, if there's any like unusual wear on the cylinder, which would indicate like a hung up piston ring, which I don't think is the case. You know what I mean? Lower the piston slowly and see if the valve goes down. It might not be enough to fall. All right, let's do that quick. Let's do that quick, and then I'm gonna end this live stream. All right, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so all the valves are closed technically right now. We got a breaker bar on here already, so we're gonna check out. Okay, so if I spin it righty-tighty, we're locked up tight because that vacuum line is in the spark plug hole right now. So let's see here. I'm gonna try to rotate the motor. I'm gonna pull this cam out of here quick. I'm gonna pull this cam out quick. There we go, got that out. Put this fucking junk up here. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, I'm gonna pull these rocker arms up so we can see the valves. All right, let's see here. We're back. Sorry. I hit a button on my phone. I'm trying to do this two-handed here. I wish I had 5 hands. Sometimes. Let's see. This is a bitch. I can't like watch the valve and turn the fucking crank. Wow, that fucker's tight. I just fucking turned it a little bit. Hang on. I'm gonna grab a bigger bar. This ought to do the job. All right. Okay. Now I got a visual. Okay, they didn't move. This valve moves freely. Yeah. Moves free. Try this one once. Hang on. Trying to do this so it'll drop in the damn valve. Let's see here. I should put a magnet on this. Hang on, I'm gonna grab a magnet. Work smarter, right? Okay, Okay, so we got a magnet on the valve. I'm gonna try to push on it. I mean, they seem like they're good. You know what I mean? Like, if I can push it with my hand, I don't think we got an issue. You know what I mean, guys? I can push them in and out with my hands. So, I don't think the valve is the issue. Let's get this thing back up to rock top solid, so that fucking valves don't fall into the motor. This thing's been nothing but a fucking nightmare. I'll tell you what. All right. There we go. We're locked back up. Valves are tight. Okay. Sweet. Puts the phone down and uses two hands. Yeah, at least you know it's not the damn valve. You know what I mean? Like I said, if the valve was bent, it probably wouldn't build compression worth a shit. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But I'm going to sleep on it. And how is the spark for that cylinder? Why would it be worn? That's the only thing. Why would the cam be worn the way it is, Richard? It had spark. So, and it had spark in that cylinder, but why would that be worn? You know what I mean? And it's kind of a coincidence that the cylinder that was misfiring has that wear on that cylinder's part of the cam. You know what I mean? Walk away from it for 12 hours. I'm probably going to walk away from it for a whole day, honestly. I'm going to walk away from this thing for like a whole day. And there's a track day tomorrow. I might go racing. I don't know yet. Hang on one second. Let me check my battery. Almost out of battery, guys. We are almost out of battery. Let me plug my shit back in. Okay. We're plugged back in. We are plugged back in. Yeah. One problem at a time. Dude, I've had this. Get some sleep, you'll get it. Christian, see you at the track. We'll see. Not sure. Not sure. We will see. But I think I'm going to post this video to the channel and see if anybody else wants to tune in the morning or whatever to see what's going on. You know what I mean? Who am I, guys? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I banged that light. Never saw him. Yeah, well, I'll let you know, Darren. Can't wait to see that EK Brutta. Or are you taking the Mustang? I don't know. What should I take? Should I take the Civic or the Mustang? If I go. Or should I take the Hayabusa? I haven't told anybody that I bought that bike, but I bought a Hayabusa. Should I take the Busa? Or should I take the Civic? Or should I take the Mustang? What one should I take? Should I take all three? I'm just kidding. Hit me up if you need to bounce ideas off when you're working on it again. 15-year ASC certified master, and I've built numerous motors. All right, dude. Sounds good, man. Thank you for the help. Peace and love, brother. You are appreciated. All right. Good night, Hunter. Go to get some work done here. Got to get some work done here. Yeah. Graveyard shift. Young Static. Yeah, I mean, I could ask Young Static if I wanted. Just, I don't know. Sucks because this is an odd issue. Cam's got to be moving side to side. Maybe. Take the Mustang, Busa, Busa. Okay, so far we have 2 people that say I should take the Busa. And we got 1 guy that says I should take the Mustang. What do you guys think? I want to know what I should take to the track tomorrow. There's 21 people in here. We can at least get 10 of you to vote. 10 of you out of the 21. That's not that hard to ask. What should I take? The Civic, the Mustang, or the Hayabusa to the racetrack? Mustang. EK. So we got 1 for the EK. We got 2 for the Mustang. We got 2 for the Busa. We got 3 for the Busa. We got 3 for the Mustang. We got 2 for the Civic. We're tied, Mustang and Busa right now. We are tied. We are tied. Both put the Busa in the bed of the truck, towing the Mustang. Rustang, People Eater, Fairmont. Better pull them socks up. Take the ruckus and disgusted as a Busa. And disgust. Mustang is reliable. True. The Mustang is reliable. I will give it that. Busa, Stang. I want the girlfriend to race something. I want the girlfriend to take something up there. Okay. What I might do. Stang, Busa. I got a steal on the fucking Busa, dude. All right, whatever. I'm going to tell you guys. If anybody's into the video this long and actually sees this, whatever, they can know. Dude, the Chev Stang is out of fucking injector and it's out of torque converter. I can't turn it up any farther. So that's what sucks about the Mustang. Have her take the Civic on low boost. That's what I was thinking. Leave the street tune in it and fucking have her let her eat. Girlfriend drive the Civic, bike in the truck. Bed and Mustang on the trailer. Wouldn't that be some shit? Wouldn't that be some shit? Make the girlfriend take the EK and you take the Stang. Okay, so I got the Busa. I want to make a video on it. It's a 2005 Hayabusa. 18,000 miles on it, and it had some issues when I bought it. It has brand new tires. It's stretched 6 inches. It's got some other goodies on it, and I got it for $3,200. So not too bad in my opinion. I had to clear out the fuel pump and the injectors and shit. They're all gummed up, and it was running like dog ass. But I got it all cleared out, and everything's running good on it now. I'll make a 14 pass today. All right. Is the Busa turbo? No, it's all motor. Let your old lady drive Michael's car. At least you know she won't be breaking any speed records. Right? You never sent me the link for the D16 injectors for my Vitara build. They're on my website, Santos Garcia. They're on my website. If you have a Z6 or a Y8 or whatever, you should get the normal style truck injectors. Dude, these fucking spiders. Get out of here. That's what I get for living by the lake, right? Living by the lake, you got spiders and bugs. Need them ASAP. You're gonna make ass. Y8. Yeah, Y8. You'll just have to. I don't have them right now, dude. I'm not gonna have them till next week. So if. Okay, we back? We had to reconnect for a second. Stupid YouTube. Did I check to see if plugs for the feeds are in? What do you mean the plugs for the feeds? The lost motion assembly is not seized. No. Chev Stang. PETA is calling. I predict Christian will go faster than Michael. Sorry I had to physically to see that assembly in the pic. Did he lag out? Yeah. When are you going to have him again? Next week. Yeah, like next week sometime. I should have some more injectors. I've just been selling a fuckload of them, guys. Seriously, crazy amount of injectors. Crazy amount of injectors I've sold. So I can't, it's hard to keep them in stock. VTEC oil feed. By the end caps. Okay. Yeah. 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 I used to live in Sheboygan, somewhere in Indiana now. Plenty of big spiders. Yeah, exactly. There's spiders. I hate spiders. Do you have any ECU for sale by any chance? I'm out. I'm out. I have a bunch of ECUs, but none of them are set up. Send me your ECU and I'll chip it. How about that? We could do that. Santos. All right, one more roll call. Can you flow test a set of eBay injectors that I have? Send me a picture of them, Stacy, and I'll let you know if they fit my tester. Because there's some injectors that fit and some of them that don't. You know what I mean? I think we're going to do one more roll call here, guys. My plan is, at this particular moment, is to run the Civic. I don't really want to run the Mustang. It's just been sitting there. The tires have been flat for like a month. So the slicks are probably shot and dry rotted to fuck. And they don't like me running at the track with those. So I think the girlfriend should run my Civic. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And then I'll race the Hayabusa. Mustang, you Mustang, her EK. Wait a minute, $3,500 for a Busa. 30% towards your dyno. I know. That's why I haven't posted a video about it, because I'm sure everybody's just gonna give me shit and be like, "Oh, you didn't buy the dyno. You didn't buy the dyno." You're right. I didn't buy the dyno, and I don't know. I don't know. That's why I didn't make it go for me, because I'm not like, I want the dyno, obviously, but I'm not like, I don't know. It's just, there's a lot to go into this process. You know what I mean? I'm trying to live life, exactly. Trying to have fun and do whatever I can. Dyno will be awesome, but the one I'm looking at, I can't find a building anywhere that's going to let me cut a hole in the ground to install it. So it sucks. It sucks, because I've been trying to find, like, I could get the money. Like, I can probably have the money. It's not that. I just fucking sucks. It sucks. I can't find a place to put it. So why should I buy it if I have nowhere to put it? I can't put it anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I've been looking. You still got that R1? Yeah, I got the R1 still. Girlfriend's been riding the R1. It sounded like earlier you were kind of mad at the owner of the Integra. I'm not mad at him. Dyno would be badass. Damn it, Stang. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if I even go. I might not even go racing. We'll see. But, okay, guys. I'm going to dip out. I'm going to go eat some fucking... What do we have to eat? I don't know. I'm going to go try to find something to eat. And then I'm going to drink a beer. And I'm going to go to fucking bed. You know what I mean? Know what I mean, 12 people? Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, you can't sink it in your garage where you live. No, I have way too many neighbors. Way too many neighbors, dude, I wish. Good night, Mr. Toon, Melanie Felix. Good night, Melanie. Peace, bro. Get injectors. Get those injectors in, man. See ya. All right, I'll try. Try my hardest. Okay, see ya. Have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you later.